Whose blood to spill, I don't know. Whose side I'm on. Two armies are coming at me. Their flags and weapons look the same. One tells the truth, the other's lying. And they're both calling my name. This is how villains are made. This is how villains are made. Ooh, no one ever starts that way. But this is how villains are made. Time to put my medal on. Whose neck to cut, I don't know. Whose side I'm on. There lies my sanity. There goes my mind, I could not say. I don't trust what I see right in front of me. I don't know who to betray. This is how villains are made. This is how villains are made. Load up on guns and bring your friends. It's fun to lose and to pretend she's overboard and self-assured. Oh no, I know a dirty word. Hello.
Peter said Ethan Nordine was the undisputed leader of the group that day as they tried to prevent the peaceful transfer of power.
And FBI agents arrested Proud Boys former national chairman Enrique Tarrio at this home in Miami. By 2 this afternoon, he was in federal court.
Here we are now, entertain us. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are now, entertain us. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are now, entertain us. I don't know.
I'm kind of pissed off that I can't smoke here at the house today. I mean, I need to start with that because I'm already like jonesing. It's a bad addiction. But
Why can't
welcome.
you smoke?
You what?
Why can't you smoke?
I'm inside my house.
But you smoke inside the studio?
I smoke. Yeah. I don't smoke inside the house. I definitely don't smoke inside the house. That's a white people thing.
Just get an air filter.
I never smoked in my house. It's not a white people thing. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Well, hello and welcome to a special edition of Newsbrief. We usually don't do Sundays, but it is January 18th and it's 11:37 a.m. And these people were blowing up my phone, specifically that one right there was blowing up my phone saying that we need to talk about Minnesota, and she's 100% right. Once again, we find ourselves in a show where we talk about Jake Lang. So let's start with introducing our hosts. Rob, take it.
What's going on, bro? Yes, of course we're going to be here talking about Jake Lang.
Patty, what's going on? Of course, Patty doesn't say shit. Kim.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning, my favorite. Well, as you guys know, yesterday was an insane day, and I happened to get the story breaking when I was in my kitchen making muffins. So if you missed that stream, go give it a watch. It's actually pretty funny. But it's I'm getting serious 2020 vibes again, and we can't let that become the norm. We can't let that happen again. So that's where I'm at.
Kim's muffins were making muffins.
My muffins were making muffins.
So
anyway,
you say something that's important, right? So like, we've seen this for a long time. We've seen this in the first term. We've seen this in the second term. We've seen it in the Joe Biden term. We specifically with George Floyd and the BLM riots of the summer of love of 2020. So what ends up happening is usually it's in the summer, right? Usually there's no activity. Portland dies off in the winter. It's too fucking cold. Nobody comes out. So what kind of scares me about this one is, there's this big movement, at least in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Right? I have to say that.
Bro, the mayor of Minneapolis called for the Winter of Love 2.0.
Exactly. So this kind of scares me because if we're seeing this in the winter, what the fuck are we going to see in the summer, right? All it takes is one instance, and I think I'm going to be pretty clear. If Renee Good was black, this would be a lot worse. We'd see this across the country. And I'm not saying that because of racism or whatever. It's just a fact. That's just a fact of life.
I'll say it for racism for you, Enrique.
Yeah. Okay. Patty, you're shaking your head over.
Well, anything that comes out of the blackface of white supremacy's mouth is definitely racist.
Yeah, definitely.
That's true.
Patty, what do you think about my analysis there with the summer and winter? I saw you nodding your head.
I think obviously you're right about the fact that the weather actually does indicate like what people are going to do. So, in the winter, you're not going to get as many protests, but in the summer you will. That's unfortunate because people are just fucking lazy, but what's going to happen is people are going to revolt against the idiotic ideas of this administration, and they're going to get pissed, and they're going to get out, and they're going to do things that you guys don't like, and you're going to have to deal with it. And just like Trump lost the 2020 election because of this bullshit, he is going to get fucked up in this next.
God, I wish I was on camera right now so you guys can see my fucking eyes rolling back in the back of my fucking head.
I roll them extra hard.
What your eyes are doing. But what I'm saying is,
okay, go ahead.
You guys are gonna get your tits kicked loose in this next election, and we all know it. And you know it, Enrique. I mean, don't give me that bullshit. We've talked about this personally. You know you're gonna lose. You're just trying to couch it right now.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I admit and I concede that I think that we're gonna lose. I'm 90% sure we're gonna get shellacked. Right? 5% is like a loss, and 5% is what I think that we might be able to turn it around, right? But for different reasons. So, like, it's not the assumption of the efforts of this administration that's gonna make us lose. It's a couple things. One is history itself, in terms is not good for whoever holds power in the executive. In this case,
Only 3 times in the 100 years that we've been tracking this stuff has the party in power actually won, more seats in the
yeah,
midterms. So
yeah.
it's not going to happen. Like it's easy to see that it's not going to happen.
No, I don't think it's going to happen. But I think there's multiple factors. One is that just historically, it's just not going to happen. Two, and I found this out with the campaign for Laura Loomer, right? And when I started seeing the polls come in, I'm like, holy shit, she might actually win. She might actually become a congresswoman. Because I had never seen. I've worked campaigns my entire life, and I've seen people run, I've seen people win, and I've seen people lose. But she had this giant momentum. And one thing that I didn't account for, right? She's a very polarizing figure, like most of us sitting here. So she gets a lot of love and she gets a lot of hate, and both of those things are motivators. And what ended up happening with Laura's campaign is she got a lot of love, she got a lot of people to come out, and and then the people that hate her, it's the same thing. A lot of people hate her, so they came out and voted. So I think that might be a factor in this election. You got.
Well, I think that the thing with Laura, though, you have to understand that a lot of people like to go to the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and she is Dr. Frankenfurter, so it's enjoyable to see that. But
you got no room to be talking about Rocky Horror Picture Show when it comes to fucking women. After who I saw you fucking banging in the hotel.
I thought we weren't going to fucking start saying people's business out here.
What did you say, Rob?
No, I said he's got a lot of fucking nerve talking about calling Laura Loomer fucking Rocky Horror Picture Show when who I caught him fucking in the hotel room down in D.C. You got a lot of fucking nerve.
What? I think she slipped something in my drink.
Dude, no bullshit. It was the middle of the day. You fucking drunk. You're banging fucking Patricia Aguino, dude. Are you fucking kidding me, guy? I walked in that room. It smelled like low tide, dirty fucking yeast, and fucking ass. And I think the ass came from you.
Hey, the thing is, you make it until the room stinks, and that's how it goes.
Listen, there were plenty of like better, fatter, fucking liberal women down there, and you had to fucking choose her.
I like.
This is why she's so pissed off about the fucking megaphone. This is why she's so pissed off about the megaphone, and it's your fault. It's not ours.
Hey, let me get control here, because you guys you guys are putting out personal business that we said that we weren't going to talk about on this show. But now that it's out, now that it's out, Patricia came up to Patty downstairs, right? Because she was trying to get her bullhorn back, and Patty's like, "Oh, I know a way you could get your bullhorn back," and brought her up to the room. I
got a hall pass. I got a hall pass from Mrs. Riley. She said, "Hey,
bro, you wasted it.
You wasted your hall pass.
Used it on a Guino.
You wasted it on a fish bucket." Just for the people,
bro, please tell me you rolled her in flour first to find the wet spot, because there was no fucking way in hell you could find that shit underneath that gun.
So wait, I need to tell the audience, for those that don't know who Patricia Aguino is. So Patricia Aguino was the person that bullhorns us all over DC every time we come. I welcome her. She gives us great press.
Well, I certainly did.
And
all over her face.
Dude, let me tell you something. The fucking room smelled bad enough with Bobby in there. You just made it worse. You made it completely. Dude, I walked in there and my eyes started watering, kind of like the room that Enrique and I walked into with Gavin. Our eyes immediately started fucking watering. This is exactly what happened when I walked in that room, and I went, please, if there was ever a time when I truly wanted to die, it was that moment when I walked in and saw you on top of her.
All right. Listen, let's focus on the goal here, and the goal is Minnesota. So I kind of want to start by saying, like, obviously the biggest elephant in the room that we haven't discussed yet, because we know about Minnesota, because
we were just talking about an elephant.
Nick Sherman.
Wait, isn't it? It might actually be Minneapolis.
You yourself, Rob. So in Minnesota, the reason why Minnesota is a thing, such a big thing, is Nick Shirley's expose on it, and then we kind of focus on, and then ICE kind of focused in on like Somali fucking illegals, and they went ahead and they were picking up Somali illegals, and then Renee Good was shot in the face by an ICE officer because she tried to ram her car into him, and I think there's no, I don't
she
think
didn't.
there's a
No,
disagreement.
she didn't. No, she didn't.
Yes,
That's
she
bullshit.
did.
Wait, hold up. How are you going to change your position?
No,
He
I'm
didn't
saying
change his position. He's always had an equally retarded position that he doesn't know how to look at footage and he doesn't know
she
how to
was
follow up on
clearly
research.
turning her. You know, that's
You
that's
can't.
nonsense.
It doesn't matter
That's
if you
bullshit.
turn the wheel if someone's directly in front of your car. You fucking retard. If you're standing in front of the car's still gonna go forward. That's called logic. Use it
He
sometime.
shot her from the side.
All right,
and
but let's not-
Oh,
everybody can
that's
see
why
that.
the gunshot
Let's
went
not
through the front
relitigate this.
windshield. You fucking idiot.
Let's not relitigate this for a second.
Well, why shouldn't we relitigate it?
Well, because we did it on the last show. We were talking about her getting shot in the face. But I mean, look, we could spend some time on it. That's fine. But like, what caused like the shit show was both of those things. Fuck, no, there's a whole bunch of Cubans here. I don't know. Can you hear him on the mic?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, they all came over on the same raft you came over on.
They actually did. Actually, they brought me over on their raft.
57 Chevy, you could probably rehab that thing.
So what ends up happening here is Renee Good gets shot. Obviously, Patty feels differently. I could have remembered that he said the opposite, that it was justified. But well, Patty could concede to us. So it's been going crazy all over the place. And Jake decided.
Carajo, maricón.
Well, Jake was in Minneapolis. That's
How many mics do you have in there, man?
Who, me?
Somebody's yeah. I can hear.
No, it's
all
not. I have
the
one mic. I have the gain all the way up. There's people here, so I'm trying to be quick and mute my mic. But
Of course, Enrique's got a bunch of fucking illegal spics in the background, fucking running their mouths.
Somebody call ICE.
fuck off, people.
This
Obviously,
motherfucker
there's
needs
an
to
ICE
use his own
agent in
fucking
the
app
room.
on the people that are in his house.
Oh shit! I forgot about that.
This is entrapment.
Okay, so we have this event with Jank Lang was planned before what happened with Renee Good. Yeah, it was, and it wasn't in the same place. I'm looking at the receipts here. It is Minneapolis, not Minnesota. But regardless,
Minneapolis is in Minnesota, you fucking moron. Like,
okay, I understand this, but we were okay. Maybe you missed the conversation earlier. That's fine.
You missed geography class, is what you did.
Okay, Patty. The attendance was definitely amplified by the fact that the Renee Good thing just happened. We understand that to be true, but this event, I believe this was scheduled weeks beforehand. He was already planning on doing this protest. And quite frankly, look, I'm going to circle back to what I said in the beginning. The whole point of doing these events
Barry,
is...
I'm sending you the link. I'm sorry to cut you off for a second. I just had to tell Barry that.
No, you're good. The whole point of people like Jake Lang going out and doing stuff like this, it's the same kind of message that we were trying to promote in the early 2016, and again throughout all the free speech events, is we wanted to get out in public and make our statements known, because we're heavily suppressed and we're misrepresented. So we want to go to the people directly, and we're met with these violent domestic terrorists who have no respect for free speech, have no respect for the Constitution or America in general. They're just there to cause problems, and they did what they always do. They turned into a violent mob, and they tried to kill people for saying words that they didn't like. And it's disgusting, and it's a horrible state for our society to be in the first place. But again, what's the right going to do? What can we even do? Because when we show up and we defend ourselves, we get thrown in prison. They never do. So when you have an unequal justice system, how are you supposed to respond to situations like this?
I mean, do you want me to respond to that?
Yeah, you go and then I'll
It's
go.
it's a free fucking country, Patty. You can make an idiot of yourself if you want.
Yeah, it used to be anyway. No, I think that it's the idea that people who are protesting, ICE being what they are, which is a pack of fucking morons, um, is ridiculous. We should be able to protest whatever the hell we want to protest, whether we're right or wrong, and maybe you have your head up your ass, or maybe you don't, but the police should not be able to arrest you for that, and definitely not shoot you in the face 4 times for that. So
We're
Ashley
talking about
Babbitt should not have been shot, and Renee Good should not have been shot. Like
Ashley
I'm
Babbitt wasn't behind a 4-ton vehicle.
I'm across the board about this. Straight up, it doesn't matter what side you're on. You shouldn't be shot for protesting unless you present an actual danger to a police, and neither one of those women did that. So Ashley Babbitt didn't do that, and Rachel Good didn't do that. And I firmly believe that it doesn't matter. Like, you guys don't actually believe in free speech, you believe in your own speech, and that's just the way it's always going to be. So if a lefty does something you don't like, you think the police should be able to shoot them in the fucking face. If a
No, I think if you try to
right
kill a
winger
cop by
does
running them
something,
over, that he has a right to
well,
defend
she
himself.
obviously wasn't doing that, and if he was,
It's not obvious.
There's multiple angles of it, Patty.
There's
multiple
multiple
angles.
You guys will find a fucking excuse.
Let
You'll
me-
make
let me
an
jump in when you're
excuse
done,
for
Patty.
any goddamn thing because you're all full of shit. Like, you're
No, look.
completely full of shit.
Listen, look here, and here's a perfect example of like two opposing sides. Here's a perfect example of two opposing sides that see the same video, right? And see clearly, what happened, and they believe that they're both right. And we're arguing over something that's on video. Patty, I think you're completely wrong. There's multiple. I mean, I'm not going to relitigate this, but
No,
there's
I
multiple angles that show she hit the pedal and he was in front of the car. And the cops are
He
telling
shot
you,
her on the side, man. Like, the bullets entered the side of her fucking head. There is
And the
no,
front of her windshield, you stupid cunt.
you can't. All right.
How
You
does
talk about-
the magic bullet went in through the front, even though he wasn't shooting from the front? Like, get a grip. You're an idiot.
yeah. So okay, and then I want to talk about Jake Lang for a second.
Oh, Jesus.
So
I was going to say something about this.
Go ahead.
You interrupted me, fucker. No, you go ahead. You go ahead. I just got a bag of Cheerios dumped on my lap.
So I want to talk about Jake for a second. So Jake, and I hate that I have to keep saying this. Look, Jake does some wild shit that I don't agree with. I fucking hate it sometimes. It's cringe. It makes my teeth fucking cringe.
Yeah.
But he should be able to burn a Quran without the fear of violence. Should people scream at him and bullhorn him and fucking do all sorts of fucking crazy kind of things, like fucking blow up, like the little blow up things or whatever the fuck it is that they do? Yes, you should be able to go out there. I support it. But dude, you're ripping, I was watching it live and I was genuinely concerned that they were going to kill him before they even touched him. He was up on a windowsill.
They would kill him.
He was up on a windowsill and they were wrapped around him like
that,
a
Kim.
stadium.
Stop it with the head shake.
They were wrapped around him like a fucking stadium. And I'm like, if he steps foot down there, he's fucked. And I said, they're going to grab him by the feet and they're going to pull him down, because with that anger, I put myself in the shoes of the protester. This is demon, the Satan incarnate. And I want to pull him down and I want to kill Satan. So what they do is they started pulling at his legs and then they brought him down.
I thought that was you.
They walked through the mob. What?
I thought that was you.
What,
You're
the black
Satan.
guy?
You're Satan.
I'd be in a different situation. I'll tell you guys later what, like, if I were to go through Jake's steps, which I would never put myself in that position. Let's just start there. The hate for Jake is high, but I think the hate for me is higher, specifically when fucking Now This and Occupy Democrats said that I was some type of fucking ICE agent, and they said it in the affirmative. So I think that I think it was a very dangerous situation for Jake to put himself in. I agree with that, but I think he did a lot fucking to kind of shine even more light on this, which is what he wanted. They gave him exactly what he wanted. He might be hurt, he might have fucking like some shit here, maybe they tried to stab him, but Jake set
Well,
out on a
if
mission
he got
and he accomplished.
stabbed, it would be the best day of his fucking life because that's what he wants to have happen. Like he wants that shit. Like, so I'm not saying it's okay to physically assault anybody because it isn't. But
Yeah.
Jake wants that to happen so that he can be a fucking martyr. Like he's a dirtbag, a complete scumbag, and he wants something like that to happen to him.
He did,
so
and I'm
that
not
he
disagreeing
can
with
cry
you.
about it. Like
But
that's what it
The
is.
problem doesn't come in that he wants it. The problem comes in they gave it to him. They gave it to him on a
They
silver
shouldn't give
platter.
it to him.
And I want to read his tweet here for a second. He says, I just got stabbed by a crazy white commie leftist rioter today in Minnesota. All for pointing out their replacement by 70, I'm guessing IQ, by 70 IQ burqa wearing pirate Somalis. Plate carrier blocked at Jesus is King Deucevelt.
And he doesn't know anything because I talked to
He's
Jake.
riding this wave. He's riding.
I've talked to Jake about the gospel, and he doesn't know anything about it. Like he doesn't understand the gospel.
Well, the disciples didn't know
Jesus
anything
Christ.
either. I mean, that's like in the beginning.
Well, I do, and it offends me. It pisses me off that these guys don't know anything. He's talking. It's like, oh well, Jesus is king.
How dare
like,
a recent convert not know when I've been in Catholic school my whole life? Shut the fuck up. Holy shit.
I read the Bible every day, and I'm telling you that I know more about this thing than you or anybody you know.
Yeah, you probably do, because I'm a recent convert, like I just said. Holy shit.
But it bothers me. It really bothers
me that people need to learn to get to my level. Like,
if you're gonna run around yelling Jesus is king, you should know some shit about
You could still be
Jesus.
a faith without having the same level of knowledge that you do, Patty. You fucking
but you shouldn't scream and yell about it if you don't know anything about it.
You absolutely can proclaim your faith. It doesn't matter if you're not as studied. You can still have the faith. You can still proclaim that Jesus is Lord. You can
not knowing anything about it is
yes,
perfectly
you could.
fine.
He doesn't not know anything. Absolutely can. Surrendering your life.
It's crazy to me that I feel like we have
memorize the Bible.
For the first time in American history, I think we have the first closeted Christian, right? Like he's like, oh, I'm an atheist, but
I just think the two of them need to fuck and get it over with at this point.
It has nothing to do with faith. He just wants to flex the fact that he can recite more than this guy, and that's irrelevant to the fact that this guy has faith. You don't need to meet certain criteria of memorization in order to qualify to be a member of the fucking church.
No, I'm saying he's fugazi. I'm saying it's bullshit. It's bullshit. He's a fugazi Christian. That's what it is.
All right,
okay, coming from the atheist, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. I don't think here you can stack shit that high, Patty.
Wait, I think Patty proclaims himself to be agnostic, not atheist. Am I wrong in that?
No, I'm an atheist.
He's told me he's an atheist many times.
All right, so I think we all could agree like Jake was looking to provoke a reaction.
Yeah, well, I think
got it. Yeah. And like the smart thing to do in a strategy, right? Strategically, is not give him that win. Like the best thing they did. Look in DC. I'm gonna criticize him. He knows I criticize him all the time. In DC when he did that march on IPAC, there was like 7 people around him. And it was
IPAC. Is that like iPhone?
IPAC. Yeah, iPad
or iMac. It's APAC, you fucking goon.
It's like when you pronounce AI. So what ends up happening is like 7 people showed up, right? And it was embarrassing. Honestly, it was embarrassing. It was an embarrassing turnout. There wasn't really protesters. Fucking Patty's one night stand showed up, you know, and that was the only protester, right? So that was a loss. That was a PR loss for him. But now these people in Minneapolis that don't know who the fuck he is,
Mhm.
right? Like, didn't calculate this one. Pink, I don't know if you know this. Pink, the singer Pink, was the one that like really promoted the counter protests at the event. She
She's an
said, "Oh,
insufferable cunt.
you shouldn't show up or whatever."
Oh, I
or
love myself some Pink. I love Pink.
And she
Yeah,
gave
Patricia Aguino's Pink.
Yeah.
I think it's
So
purple.
here's the thing. When it comes to Jake Lang, and I understand what your beef is, he's willing, and I've
Oh,
heard
Patty
him
knows
say,
all about beef, Kim. He knows all about beef, especially those curtains.
gross. I've heard him speak about being willing to die for this, and I do think that he actually is. I think that if they were to have killed him, that would have proven his point, and that's where the difference is between a Renee Good and a Jake Lang. Renee Good was LARPing as an activist. She drove to intentionally block and interfere with ICE, and you can even hear after there was somebody that went, "Wait, you have real bullets?" These people don't know, they're not in reality. They don't understand like life has consequences, and those consequences come when you do stupid shit like drive into a cop. Jake Lang walked into this situation understanding and knowing that this is how the left behaves, and to him, yes, getting attacked proves that he is right. It proves that we know who they are, we know exactly what they're going to do, and he can do a little victory lap like he did on his tweet. So is it risky? Is it risky beyond reason for most people? I think so, but for somebody who I believe is genuinely willing to die to prove a point, it's probably not too. It's that's not the line for him. There isn't a line.
Look,
I
I'll
think
tell you what, that kid, like if you spend any time with Jake Lang, you realize that is the fucking kid that you wanted to stuff in a locker in high school. Like he's a fucking straight up
Can you say
moron.
anything relevant?
Nobody, like there is absolutely no reason why you would want to be around that kid. He's a bonehead. He's a fucking idiot. He just yells and screams. And okay, fine. That's cool. You can get popular on the internet doing that. But what you should do is throw that kid in a fucking dumpster and set it on fire because he's a complete fucking moron. He has not two brain cells to rub together. He's an asshole. And
Offer
like we
any
get that.
substance
Like,
to this
oh, I mean,
other
wait,
than
why don't
schoolyard
you go talk to him?
insults.
Patty,
Why don't
but
you go talk to him for a minute?
Patty,
I
what
have many times.
so what do you think?
Well,
What do you
then
think?
you've got a bad
Patty,
bullshit
Patty.
detector.
Okay.
Let me ask you something.
Can I?
So what do you think about my analysis of saying that they gave him this W? Because undoubtedly, this is a W if we're looking at
Yeah.
sides.
It
If
is.
we're
It
looking at
is. I get that.
So let's talk about how you feel about like the people that did this, right?
Right. They didn't do well enough. They should have knocked more teeth out. They should have fucked him up, more than they did, because he is
I
a
can't wait for
really
Paul to
shitty
fight you, dude.
human being. Okay, well, you're gonna have to organize it because I'm not doing
I
that
will.
myself.
Trust me, I will. I'll even
Yeah,
pay
I
for
don't
it
think
myself.
I don't think you have 5 cents to rub together to figure that out. But you could.
You can
pretend to
underestimate
do
me,
it.
Patty. That'll just make this all better.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to have your aunt pay for it because there's no way you could.
Yeah. She's never paid for
I'm
shit
just
for me
saying.
in my life, so you could just
Yeah.
keep going.
All right. Listen. So
I've been trying to get a fucking word in here, but
I already know Patty's like just trolling here, but I don't think anybody fucking saw those images yesterday and genuinely, because there's people on the left celebrating it, genuinely believe that they're okay with it, right? People might use it for propaganda and be like, "Oh yeah, fuck yeah, he should have gotten his ass beat," but I don't think anybody genuinely saw that as like a something that should be done. Now, here, what I'm going to tell you something, and I'm kind of sad about it. Like the ability of the left to do these things, and the right not responding is it's high of it shows like high moral character um on them. But like if shit hits the fan, like they got the ability to organize. Who keeps hitting studio mode?
Oh, that's my bad. I got it.
Oh, okay. So the ability, so like let's say shit hits the fan. If shit hits the fan, that ability, like they're training to organize, right? And I'm not like one of these civil war larpers or whatever, but their ability to organize already is concerning. And what do you Rob? Let's start with you. What do you think about that?
If there's any indication by those whack Panthers that were in Philadelphia and their outfits, I'm not really concerned about it, to be quite honest with you.
See, I would be because sheer numbers wins. And let's play out this scenario. Sheer numbers.
Negative. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong.
No,
100%
no,
wrong. You're
not
100%
wrong.
wrong.
History-
Sheer numbers. They could have 1,000, and you have 20 highly trained guys. They're going to take those 1,000 motherfuckers out.
Yeah, but
These motherfuckers haven't trained a day in their fucking lives. They literally LARP at they're LARPing at this whole I'm gonna shoot ICE, I'm gonna shoot American fucking citizens. None of them have fucking body armor on. Every single fucking guy that I know, I can get 100 guys together that are gonna be wearing level 4 fucking plates, sappies, the whole 9 fucking yards, running fucking 300 blackout and 5.56, and those motherfuckers are gonna fucking fold like a cheap fucking suit.
We could do the 5.56, we could do the blackouts, we could do all that, the body armor. So what you're saying is like a couple of those things can be purchased, like gear, some training or whatnot, but they don't have, it's not 1,000 people that they have. You know, when they organize in mass numbers, right? And yeah, we could say, well, you know, the cities are fucked or whatever, but their ability to organize is scarier than ours because
Either it's loud spicks or a loud spick dog. Take your pick.
So, like, look, and look in the Civil War, you know, it wasn't you had the better, more strategic, fucking glorified general, right? Robert E. Lee, right? Nobody that reads into history would say that Robert E. Lee wasn't better at what he did than Grant, right?
Can I-
Grant,
Oh, you can make an
had-
argument that Grant was a
No,
smarter-
I'm not saying he's incompetent, but I'm saying like
I mean,
the
it's
South-
close.
the
It's
South.
Can I point to something that's just
War-
recent?
Hold on. Let me finish the point. So what Grant did, Grant had the resources, right? He had the full power and might of the federal government, the money, the trains, the transport, the food, and they just kept throwing bodies at the South until the South fucking croaked. And the same thing, and this is the last point I'm going to make, and the same thing about the beach landings in Normandy, right?
Yeah.
It was the stupidest idea in the world. It's the bravest but stupidest idea in the world. We just pumped up the factories, started pumping out jeeps and tanks, amphibious landing vehicles, and we just kept throwing bodies at a wall, right? Until they succumbed. Was there a better way to do it? You know, I'm not going to play general there, but I could criticize and be like, well, there might have been a better way to do it.
Well, that's
But it
one
was
of the
top
things
five.
that I spend a lot of time like reading about this stuff and listening
Can I-
about this. And one of the biggest problems that Hitler had, like in fighting that war, was that he underestimated the fact that the Soviet Union could just throw bodies and bullets and bodies and bullets and just never run out of that shit because they had so many more people and so many more. Their industrial complex was so bigger that they could just never run out of anything. So there was
He
no
also,
way.
Patty, he also underestimated how bad the cold would affect the soldiers and also the fucking famine in
Yes.
Africa.
That's
So-
absolutely true. Of course, yeah. No, that's absolutely right. But like just the amount of bodies and bullets that he could throw at that army, like the Red
All right.
Army wasn't particularly.
Enrique,
you know,
I want to point to something that happened just recently, and this will prove my point. 12 men over 13 hours held off thousands 12 men in Benghazi. 12 highly trained spec ops guys held off against over 1,000 fucking people attacking them.
Okay.
That's my point. When you have highly trained American soldiers like that, and there are guys that are retired that will come out of fucking retirement. The men that just want to be quiet, the men that just want to live their fucking lives, they want to be fucking peaceful. They're going to push those motherfuckers to a point, and you get 1,000 of those motherfuckers, Black Panthers, Antifa, BLM, nobody's going to be able to fucking stop them.
I will tell you, yes, they will be able to stop them because this is just them organizing. If they win the White House in 2028, and look, we're playing this scenario game. I get it, but I want to play this scenario through. And if they win the White House in 2029, we go back to the 1860s, and those 12 guys can probably like fend off 1,000 people. But what happens when the little Dorito in the sky shows up and drops something on these 12 guys? It's over. So it's all about whose power. I've always said this: if there was ever a civil war in America, whoever holds the executive wins every time.
Yeah, but
No,
originally you were talking. We were just specifically talking about like BLM, Antifa,
we are.
and listen, I want you guys to know this too, and that Enrique isn't wrong in his estimation, because what a lot of people on the right don't understand, that there are groups like the John Brown Gun Club that train specifically at ranges all around America. They are actively training. They're not. The left is not to be discounted, but my point of what I was trying to say was that our guys are way more trained than that, because that's what we've been doing for the last, I don't know, 10, 15, 20, 30 fucking years. And I would absolutely put on the guys that have been training their entire lives up against the John Brown Gun Club. But don't get it twisted. They are training. Enrique is 100% correct in this. And if you don't believe me, go look up who the John Brown Gun Club is.
Yeah, I mean, there's not enough John Brown gun clubs, but the problem is that you're seeing this organizing apparatus in the ground, and it's coming from, I'm not going to say from the top, but it is dripping its way down. So when you get some type of person that's sympathetic to these people, and you put them in the White House, and shit pops off, then not only do they have the manpower, but then they have the technological advances, right? And you could do the rice fields all day, right? You could do the rice field thing all day, but the problem is this would be different warfare than what we saw in 1865. I mean, from 1860s to pretty much 65. This is a government that we've let go ballistic when it comes to hardware that they can use against the American people.
Well, I can tell you the first thing that I'm going to do is shoot Bobby Pickles in the back of his face.
Well, not if Reno gets to you first.
Yeah, Reno. Apparently
I was going to say you have enough
me.
people. You have enough people who are going to be lined up, so I don't think you'll have to worry about that.
Other than Enrique, I think I get more death threats per day than anybody on this. I'm willing to admit that you get more. Definitely,
Yeah.
you get more. But
Especially in the last 2 days. But yeah,
I get several at least a day. And I'm going to take it out on Bobby. I'm going to shoot him right in his face, and then I'm going to eat some pasta.
I think there's a team. I don't want to say anything, but I think there's a team of Hate Bobby, which is kind of like the John Brown Gun Club, right, whose only purpose in life is not to train to overthrow a government or anything. It's training to fuck over Bobby, right. And I think it's a big club. I think it's a big club.
I just want to shoot Bobby. That's really all that I can say.
Anything else on this? So we could just say our last words on it. Rob. Oh, you're sharing screen? Yeah, I see it. Welcome to the rice fields, motherfucker. Yeah, that's gonna be. Yeah, I mean, it's a look. It wins. It pulled them out, but um, I think most of this debate was ended. Uh,
Bless you.
150
Thank
years ago, 150 plus years ago. Um, I think Abraham Lincoln ended this debate. Can American like right wing American patriots uh, put up a fight and maybe win? Yes, there's a chance, and I'm not saying it's a slim chance. I think that there's definitely a chance, but it all requires one thing and one thing only. It requires organization, being able to organize,
And we are hopelessly unorganized.
and we're hopelessly unorganized. And I'm gonna tell you this about the Proud Boys. Like they saw danger in these groups. They saw danger in Oath Keepers. They saw danger in Proud Boys. And what they needed to do is they needed to kind of slow that roll down, and through the actions of January 6th, kind of disrupt the groups. And FBI this isn't a secret, the FBI has an apparatus that all they do is destabilize groups. That's what they try to do. And in some cases they're successful.
They do that with MCs all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just don't. That's where my thing is. My fear comes in the organizing, not too much the potential, because the right is very independent thinkers. That's kind of like why we're infighting all the time. But there's a pro and a con to it, and the con is we can't work together to accomplish certain tasks unless we have a common enemy, right? And maybe that becomes the factor. Maybe the unity comes in and the organizing comes in, but like they're already experienced in organizing.
Well, I mean, the problem too, and you touched on this when you talk about January 6th, is that they, uh, most normal people who aren't like already going to events and stuff like that, they're not going to go, especially after January 6th. Telling me I could just show up somewhere and have my entire life ruined and be charged with a crime and get ripped from my family and lose my job and lose my social standings in my community. Absolutely not. I mean,
Kim, can you imagine our 20-year-old forefathers saying that shit and where we would be right now if that was the attitude
I completely agree with you, and I'm not saying that is a valid reason to step back, but that was what they used January 6th for. They wanted to make an example out of everyone and say, see, not even the grandma's safe. We're going to go after grandma. You could be just like an average Joe, never have a criminal record, never have done anything.
Well, it just seems like to me grandma was a plant, by the way. Pam.
I mean, that's very well true, but like I said, my point stands that this was done in order to scare people out of these events. We had successfully done many events like this beforehand, and the demonization and the character assassinations only got worse and worse, and we could see now that was part of a calculated plan in order to arrest over 1,000 people and have nobody really come up and fight for it and say anything about it, because that's the team that I don't care about. I know there was some like BLM crossover. It was like, oh wait, like we see similarities here in what happened, but that didn't reach a national scale, and that's what they're relying on when it comes to situations like Jake Lang. Yes, he says things that are extreme. Yes, he puts himself in positions of danger. Does that mean he deserves to be murdered? Absolutely not. But because of the character assassination and the desensitization that's been going on for the last decade, arguably, people are there. That's where we're at in society. Oh, I wish they had beat him harder. I wish the knife went into his fucking lungs. That's where we're at. And we are like I said in the beginning, the justice system isn't equal. We know that far too intimately at this point. And if somebody had stabbed the guy back for trying to kill Jake Lang, he'd be in a prison cell right now, and we wouldn't be able to do shit about it. So what do we do when we know the justice system's against us? When there aren't a whole lot of people like Jake who are actually willing to say, all right, well, if I die, I die. These other people, like, they don't understand that dying is a possibility. Like I said, we brought up the fact that the woman's like, oh, there was real bullets. They don't understand. They're deluded. They're stupid. They're mentally unwell, and they're militarized. And the other side isn't willing to do that. So how do we come to terms with that? How do we? And you're right. The people in the founding of this country in their 20s would look at us now and they'd be fucking ashamed and they'd be pussies. Guess what? I'm a woman. I can't fucking throw on a vest and go out there and be on the front lines. It doesn't make any sense. But how can I, in good conscience, tell someone to be an Enrique or to be a Proud Boy and try to stand up for the right thing and try to defend the good guy and get your fucking life thrown away? Up 22 years, whatever. At least you were fighting. How am I supposed to do that in good conscience?
Kim, your job as a woman in this whole thing is to blow us, patch us up, feed us, and send us back out to battle.
No, we're gonna need Kim on the battlefield, bro. Sorry. We're gonna need all the bodies we can get. So, Rob, it's up to you to train her. Look, I'm gonna say my final words on Jake here. Look, we've had him on the show before,
and we will again.
When he talks and the things he talks about, I cannot deny them. Right? I cannot tell you that Jake is wrong when he says things. Now, the question mark, I guess, comes, and I'm trying to be even keeled here. Because he comes in here and he's like, hey, you're right. And he's kind of saying the same thing that Rob's saying. It's like, would the founding fathers, the people, the framers of this country feel the same way? The radicals that created it would. The lawyers that took advantage of it wouldn't. But regardless of the fact, the question mark lies with Jake is, does he believe in the things that he's preaching, right? And that's for the audience to figure out. And Barry came in here a little late, so we'll extend it a little while. Here, I'll bring you onto the screen, Barry. But I think genuinely what he talks about, nobody could deny. At least right wingers, if you're a conservative, nobody could deny. Is he genuine? I don't know. That's up to you guys to find out. Barry, welcome to the show.
Yeah. So shit, man. Jake Lang. I was hoping he would be on here. You know.
You know what? I didn't think about bringing him on.
Is he okay? Have you talked to him?
Okay. This is important for me to say. His status. I talked to him right when he got it, like right after he got into the car, and he was a little shaken up or whatever. But he was physically
before or after they started kicking him in the car.
After they started kicking him in the car. He didn't find out until after we had the conversation that he had a laceration on the back of his head, and a couple of other things. He was fucked up.
He was probably in shock.
Yeah, he's definitely in shock. I'm going to take a cigarette break. If you guys if you want to keep going on this, we will.
Yeah, because I've been trying to get my feelings on this in since we started talking about it. Yeah, and listen, I agree with Enrique. We all have a First Amendment right. Jake has a First Amendment right to do what he did. He shouldn't have gotten beaten up for it or stabbed or had his head split open. But is he altruistic in the things that he's doing? Is he doing it for the right reasons? I don't think so. I don't believe that. I think I don't think he's authentic, like Enrique said. I think he's doing it more for, at least when the Proud Boys did it, at the very beginning especially, it wasn't about the clout. It wasn't about the fame. It wasn't about we were just put in an untenable situation where, we weren't going to allow, Antifa and BLM to beat up on grandmas and grandfathers because they were wearing fucking MAGA hats, or, beating up on women with children because they were wearing, a MAGA shirt. We weren't going to allow that shit to happen.
When we were walking away, when we were getting over to the, to the car.
It's a major
to leave,
echo.
Like, DC, like he was yelling at some cops, and you were pissed off about it at the time. You were like,
yeah, and here's the thing, because up until that point, it was us versus pretty much, the left. The cops were there, and I have to say, in the capacity that I saw, the difference in what I saw from December 12th to what we saw that day, the cops were vastly different in how they reacted to us. So at that moment, I'm not a fan of law enforcement. I've said this many, many, many times. But at that moment, those guys were more on our side. And the last thing I wanted was for Jake to start his shit and turn them against us when it was pretty
hear
fucking
you.
peaceful, and we at least had, you know, some decent dialogue with the police that day. You know, at first they were adamant about nobody going into the Capitol. Then they kind of relented and said 10 people can go in, and it was only because we were cordial
talking
toward
to the officer who actually, you know, kind of intervened and stopped you from getting stabbed.
Well, dude, he saved my life. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it, and it's not even being
And
over dramatic.
this
He
video,
did, and I owe him my life.
I've got video of you talking to that guy, and that's one thing, and also, you know, saying that, hey, Jake, you know, you're a little out of line here. I think is reasonable. So, like, you know, let's not lionize this guy for talking shit, because I think he's an asshole.
I didn't say anything about lionizing him. I'm just saying that from a Proud Boys perspective, who's been in this club for a very, very, very long time, you know, the things that we did and why we did it are vastly different than why Jake is doing what he's doing.
Sure.
Yeah, I think also there's why was that echo? Is that something on? Okay, so when Rob's silent,
it's me. Yeah, I'm just on my.
I knew that already. So
It's
basically,
audio problems, Rob.
when I look at it, you know, I think there's a lot of genuine questions. All right, is Jake genuine, or what is Jake intentions? But what I find becoming utterly fucking annoying with the conservative party is that, like, a lot of us sit on our ass and don't do anything and live off the coattails of other fucking people. And I see it every day, even in my own social circle, even on my internet social circle. I see a bunch of people tell stories and shit that they had nothing to fucking do with and make themselves look good. And then when you see somebody, like, you know, on one hand, you're like, oh, the Somali issue is a problem. The Muslim issue is a problem. And then a bunch of people sitting on their fat ass at their computer will go, oh, that's good, it needs to be done, but he should have did it this way, or, oh, I don't agree with what he did. Meanwhile, you're sitting on your fat ass, which is indicative to most of your fucking life.
Absolutely.
Judging a dude who, like, look, I'm not talking about Patty or anybody in particular. I'm just saying,
Patty.
I know it sounds like I'm talking about you, Patty.
Don't talk about me.
But, you know, it's just mind blowing to me. But I think there's a lot of people in the conservative movement, especially, that just sit at home and live off the coattails and the stories and the triumphs and the struggles of other people, and really don't put shit into the game or have skin in the game, that really, you know, shouldn't even have a fucking
that's
opinion.
real, man. That's
two things. Number one, Jake said that exact same thing before. If you want to do better than me, get out here and do better than me. He said that many times. The second thing I'll say,
which I
the
did.
second thing that I will say, that is it's not a private story, so I can share it. But Jake Lang, you know, we could talk about and argue about his motives all day. He's, in my opinion, he's putting himself out on the front lines. He's putting himself in real danger, and I don't think that he's absentmindedly doing this. I think he's going and knowing the risk and taking it anyway. Additionally, he spent quite a bit of time with a very close friend of mine, Rich Penkowski. I would just mixing up two names. Rich Penkowski. He's one of the leaders of the Warriors for Christ. He's a street preacher. He's a very respectable man. Look him up if you don't know who he is. But he, I tried to help link him up. They ended up linking up anyway. He went to the Texas rally with Jake. And Jake had no reason to give him the mic, had no reason to try to, like, put him in the spotlight, nothing like that. The entire time when people were doing interviews with him, he would also hand it off to Rich. He did not have to do that. If he wanted to be the center stage, he could have absolutely done that the entire time. Rich, again, is somebody that I hold personally very highly. I hold his opinion very highly. He spent many days with him, and I expressed concern to Rich, and I'm honest about it with Jake. I've heard things about him that I didn't like, and I told Rich, and Rich spent the time with him, and he said, this guy, he might be a little bit high strung. He might say and do things that I wouldn't do, but at the end of the day, he's And, everybody loves the attention. We're not sitting here because we don't want the attention. We wouldn't be talking in public if we didn't want the fucking attention. So I don't want to hear oh, he just wants the attention. Yeah, getting publicized is great. That's a good thing. That's what we're all trying to do, number one. And number two, if he really wanted it to be all about him 24/7, he wouldn't be so willing to pass it off to other people with a substantially lower following. It wouldn't happen. He was willing to do that. He wants to share the stage. He wants people who have the same thoughts and the same ideas to share them. And like I said, the main point he's always said, if you want to do this better than me, come out here and do it better. Don't sit behind your computer and bitch about how, oh, nobody's getting anything done. I'm trying to get something done. You want to do something better? Come fucking do it. Take over.
Listen, I can't fault him for burning a Quran. I totally dig that. That's for sure.
Yeah, they had the pig's head in Texas. It's great. It makes a bold message.
I think Jake's hit or miss. I think he has like a 50-50. Like sometimes he hits, sometimes he doesn't. And I did both.
He definitely got hit yesterday.
Yeah, well, definitely, but it was a good hit. I will tell you that. Like it was a good run for Jake, I think, yesterday, except for his physical body. I think it was a good run for Jake.
If I know Jake the way I do,
thing,
and I spent some time with him in DC and I in other places, and I'll tell you this right now, Jake is going to turn that story into the walk of Jesus and benefit greatly from it. Yes. I know Jake.
Right.
So
but here's the thing about Jake though. So I talked to him. We had like a serious conversation about the Bible and about Jesus, and I got the feeling that he doesn't know anything about either one of those things. And so we were talking about Messianic Judaism, right? Which is something a lot of people don't know much about, but there are a lot of people who consider themselves Jews for Jesus, right? And a lot of people would think that, oh, that doesn't make sense. No, but actually it kind of does if you really consider it. And so I do know about that, and I talked to him about that, and I said, okay, so what do you think about Judaism, like going forward from
he's bearing the cross right now.
Jesus is the Christ. And he really couldn't answer it. Like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Like that's the problem.
It's the least relevant part of this whole thing.
No, it is the most relevant.
No, I wasn't talking about Patty. I was talking about fucking Enrique saying he's bearing the cross.
Yeah. I'm saying he doesn't understand his own religion. He doesn't get it. Like,
he's not as studied as you are yet. That doesn't mean shit.
And honestly, Patty, you mean you disagree with people just to disagree with them because you're a Democrat. So I wasn't there for the conversation, but I could tell you this much: the dude does read the Bible. Whatever his interpretation is, I can't speak for that.
He wants to read.
No, you don't. You can't say that. I've spent a lot of time in jail with the dude.
Right,
I've watched him read. I mean, I've watched him. I've been around him. So I mean, that's so eat a dick, Patty.
He did.
What I can't believe is I'm actually fucking defending Jake Lang.
Jesus Christ, Lord. Why are we? What is this?
I can't believe I'm defending Jake, but I have to.
You have to. I mean, Patty,
to some extent. I mean, this is
I can't believe how ugly you are. Like it's just absolutely disgusting. But
you're skinny and pale. You look like fucking Charlie Brown had a heroin addiction for 30 years on the streets of Skid Row. The fuck are you talking about ugly, you scrawny shit?
And he's ugly.
What was that cartoon we said that Patty looked like? Scissorhands? Is that what it is?
Salad fingers.
Salad fingers. Yep.
Yeah. That was it. Some of the best photos I took that day were of you. You fucking scumbag.
You did. You took some stellar photos, man. They were phenomenal. I'm glad Jake's okay. I really thought this could be worse. When I seen him get dragged off that window, I thought he was gone.
I saw it live, and before he got dragged out of the window, I said he was going to get dragged out of the window. I was literally in a group chat saying, "Hey, this is going to get really crazy, and it could get really dangerous really fast."
I would have tried to bust the window out and go inside the building.
Yeah,
I mean, clearly he has experience doing that.
I mean, listen, look, and I'm gonna put myself, and I'd like you guys to put yourself in Jake's shoes for a second. Because my anger watching it yesterday came from a place of I put myself in his shoes, right? Obviously, I don't think any of the five of us would ever like go and do it, right? But like, let's say you're there, right? And your mission was to complete your mission, to burn the Quran or preach the word, whatever it is that you're going to do. Um, I wouldn't be able to do it because while I was watching it, you see that he's walking and he's not defending himself at all. He didn't throw a single punch, he didn't push anybody or anything. I wouldn't be able to be in that situation because if I see the mob, this is exactly how I would think. If I see the mob and you're pushing me, right? And I'm going to get aggravated at some point and I'm going to lose my cool and I'm going to turn around and the first motherfucker that I see, I'm breaking his mouth, right? And when I see him go down, I'm going to have this false sense of invincibility that I think that I can take down this crowd by myself, right? And it's going to be a natural reaction.
That's called hubris.
And I'm going to fucking bury every single person in this crowd. And I might take down another 3 of them before the crowd overwhelms me and lights out for me. I get knocked out, I get killed or whatnot, but I won't be able to do what Jake did. And I think that in itself is a testament to, and again, you could question his motives, whether, oh my God, if I just walk, I'm gonna get the hits, I'm gonna get the clicks, I'm gonna get the fundraising. You could make that argument, and I think that's a fair argument to make, but it doesn't matter. He's so dedicated to his cause that he knows that he does not he cannot like punch back.
What is his cause?
Well, I don't know.
I don't think he knows either.
I think he does, and again, I think he was
Really?
successful
Well, I mean,
at it no
then
matter
what
what.
the
If he was
fuck
looking
is
for
it?
You
clicks,
can't answer for Jake. That means he doesn't have an answer. Like,
yeah,
I get so
obviously-
sick of like, why do we have to pick everything the fuck apart? Like, why can't anything? I don't blame Patty. Like, Patty, you're what is the word? Retarded, Democrat, retarded, same thing. So I get you. I'm not, but like as conservatives collectively, everything that one of us does, we put it on the screen, and it don't even take 1 second to say, "Good job," pat on the back. We're like, what can I find to take apart? What can I find to bring down? And it's just so
You
fucking
know that
old
happens with
looking
all
at.
of us. Like every one of us, like every single one of us makes a comment on Twitter or whatever,
Sure.
YouTube. We all get shit for it. We all get either threats or comments or like people like it or they don't. That's what happens, man. Like we understand that. So if you're gonna talk some shit on the internet.
Well, no, I'm not
You're
talking about
going
the
to
internet.
get-
I just mean collectively as conservatives, we never take a moment to pat one another on the back. We just tear each other down. I'm specifically talking about conservatives and two conservatives. That's why I singled you out as the retard that you obviously didn't fucking hear.
No, I understand, but I'm saying like we all get that stuff. We all get that shit, whether
So-
we're conservative.
Well, I got to pat
you know.
I got to pat Barry on the back for the most iconic photo of the entire J6 walk.
Oh yeah,
And I obviously got to pat Patty on the back for that
and
one
he's
too.
staying.
That was
Let's-
the greatest
he's-
fucking picture I think we have ever seen. Period.
But wait, before we get into that, I'd like to talk about that for a second because I don't think Barry's been in when we've talked about J6. But for the most part, I think that I say that conservatives, I think, are focused on the wrong thing. They're like, oh well, Jake is this and Jake is that. Like, focus on the fucking mob. Focus on the people who did this, and like that should be your sole focus. And you can put in like the bottom in a paragraph, be like, I don't agree with Jake. I do it myself. I don't agree with Jake's thing. I hate him, whatever. But focus on the mob. Now, in the comments, somebody's asking, well, what is his cause? And let's pretend for a second. Let's go down the dark side for a second and say that his goal is to grift or whatever and get clicks and
There's people that think
views
he's
and
an
interaction.
operation.
If that's his goal, I will tell you, he was extremely successful. Like, if his goal was to get clicks and to grift, look, Right Angle News Network, huge account, right? Don Keith, another big account. Benny Johnson, huge account. And then Mario, I always fuck up his name, Nalfall, right? Which has like, I think 3.5 million followers, right? And it just keeps going. Wall Street Apes, the quartering is all right. Colin Rugg, like these are big accounts. These are huge accounts. So Insider Wire, Savannah Hernandez, like it just doesn't stop. Look, they're grabbing his dick. This looks like a porno.
By the way,
Are they
Savannah
ripping his
is
pant leg?
probably the prettiest woman I've
Rip his
ever
dick.
met in
Yeah.
the conservative movement. Like,
Is that the chick from Lindell TV?
No,
Yeah,
she was
used
from
to work at
InfoWars.
InfoWars, and I'm telling you, that woman is drop dead. Oh my god, gorgeous! Like
Enrique, wasn't it the black guy that helped Jake get out of there? Isn't he a Muslim?
Yeah, Muslim influencer. I saw that. He did help him because I didn't know what side he was on. I'm like, oh, this guy's with Jake. So props to that guy for doing that. On the second point that I want to make, if his main goal to burn the Quran failed, I don't blame him for that. But if his goal is to kind of expose, look, he did an excellent job. So no matter how you cut it, Jake wins.
Yes.
No matter how you cut it, Jake wins.
And in this instance, should.
Yeah. And he should win. And he should get the $20,000 that he's asking for his security and medical.
And I hope he takes security with him next time.
Yeah, I hope he does take security.
It's the same problem I had with the Philip Anderson incident that happened at the free speech event in San Francisco, that we fell out over that really hard because I was trying to help him organize, and I was like, you need to get security. We need to make sure that this is the first thing that we need to get permits and we need to get security. And he fought back on me throughout that whole thing. And guess what? He got his fucking teeth knocked out. So it's just like,
yeah,
the lack of.
If you had the Uncle Tom security company to help him out, then maybe that would have
swing and a miss, Patty. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, he's absolutely the biggest Uncle Tom in America, and I don't just mean the tallest Uncle Tom, although he is that.
But if somebody called a gay dude a fag, you'd be out there with your little rainbow flag going, "Oh my God, that's hate speech."
You know damn well I wouldn't.
I got one more thing to add, if you want.
Go ahead, Kim.
Here we have.
There you go. Let's get this comment off the screen.
This
what's this?
This is the jacket that got taken off of Jake. The person who took it from his
plate carrier.
You could see his plate carrier. You could see where the knife went in. I mean, you can he basically this guy is openly bragging about stealing the vest. This should be one of the first people prosecuted. We know it's not going to happen, but
so can you expand one of those pictures?
Yeah, here's the video.
Stole that shit. That's what I do, nigga. Fuck, nigga, I stole that shit.
Fuck, nigga, that's what I do, nigga.
Like, bro,
I steal
niggas
that
don't
shit,
listen.
nigga.
I talk facts. Vlad, I talk facts.
Oh, you're right. Don't even deny it. That's cool.
Nigga, I talk facts. What deny? What, nigga? Give me that, nigga. You don't know what to do with that.
Okay.
You know when a nigga got a girl, her shit fat? Bro, you don't know what to do with that. Give me that. That's what I did to that little nigga. Give me that. You don't know what to do with that.
So wait, before we go on this really quick.
Was that even fucking English? What the fuck was that?
No, don't worry about the English.
Stole that shit.
Like the audio was like it's voiceover? Because like there's no background sound.
I don't think that's voiceover.
I think that's they're just playing a video and he's calling into the Vlad show because he said Vlad, which is like a hip hop.
You can see right here where the knife went in.
Yeah. Okay. Go next.
Right there.
So
look at that black ass finger. That was definitely him.
Yeah. No. It is him. I'm just saying it just sounded like voiceover. Now, what's crazy? So this is what I don't get. that looks like a sharp object that went into the plate carrier. But as a rational person, which we know the left isn't, like if you want to stab somebody, why would you go for the part where what you can't stab?
I don't think that they think he was thinking about that. I honestly, like, when you're in a crowd that tight and people are
Yeah.
just trying to swing wild, they were
Yeah,
just
but
trying
thanks for putting a spotlight on it, Enrique.
Yeah.
yeah, right. Next time, aim for the throat.
The
Like,
guy
come on,
the guy who
dude.
stabbed Jeremy, the guy who stabbed Jeremy, he strategically put it right under his a little bit around his armpit, right? Because
Right.
that's not where the protective gear was. And I'll be honest, I don't even think that um Jeremy had something protective in there because I don't remember him saying anything about it.
He wasn't wearing armor.
Yeah. So it's just odd to me. I mean, it happened. I'm just saying it's odd because he's pointing at it, right? So he's pointing. It's not like Jake just saying it. The guy literally has his finger on it, saying something. So
I just wanted to make sure we shared that.
all right, you guys want to keep rolling?
I'm down
No.
for
No. Okay.
No, we're good.
All right, so let's do some closing statements on this and some plugs. Actually, Jake's calling me right now. Take it, Barry. Take it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I missed most of it. I'm just glad the dude's okay. That's for damn sure. I mean, fuck, that was insane seeing him get dragged out in the crowd. I did not think he was going to be alive. And, what it is. Somalis suck. And if you want to support us, 1776.shop. The most spiciest and offensive gear you can get is at the American Rising store. Rob, you're next.
Listen, I'm glad Jake
Wait,
got out of there.
Rob, before you go in,
Motherfucker,
Jake,
all episode.
hold on.
Good.
Hold on. Jake, Jake, do you have something to say to the audience?
I'm grateful to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ who delivered me from the mouth of the lions again. We've seen absolute pitiful turnout from the right-wing conservatives, and we allowed ourselves to be dishonored and disgraced in front of the entire world by left-wing communists and illegal immigrants that nearly ripped me from limb to limb. This is a call to action to every man that considers himself a Christian, a conservative, a Trump supporter. You need to be out there whenever we do our events or any conservative, my events or another person's, because the implications are that we're weak and they're strong. When you see that video from yesterday, and that's anything but the truth. So we need to regain our honor and we need to take back Minneapolis. And I'll be announcing something very soon with a lot of partners of mine.
Good partners, I hope, right?
Yes, the best partners possible.
It's all great, right?
Our plan to take back Minneapolis and regain our honor.
Amen. All right. Hey, thanks for the words. I'm going to mute myself. Go ahead, guys.
I'm glad Jake is okay, relatively okay. He has every right to exercise his fucking First Amendment right. And I think the most positive takeaway on this is that it really did put a spotlight on what the fuck is really going on, because for so long people don't realize, and they for years they've discounted the left and thinking that they're not capable of pulling shit like this, when we all know that they are, and now more people are seeing it. So I do give him credit for that. I just wish he was smart enough to bring more than one other person with him. That was just, I mean, it's either one of two things. Either he really does want to die like a martyr, or he's suicidal at that point. Like it does no good for the cause for him to die, martyrdom or not. It doesn't do anything for it. Yeah, it'll incentivize some people, but some people will sit here and say, well, fuck him, he's an idiot for dying. If Jake really wants to push his message, he needs to stay alive and be smart about it.
Amen. Patty?
Well, as much as I would like to say, hey, I don't think that political violence is okay, and nobody should be stabbed for their beliefs. I do hope that Jake passes away soon, and I would like him to die.
You're such a fucking lying cockbag.
In the next like 5 minutes. I
You-
hope he dies a horrible death. And
He's in a plane right now.
that's, hey, look, I hope that plane crashes
This
and
fucking guy, dude. I
that
can't.
he just never makes it. But yeah, I don't believe any of the things I just said, but it's funny anyway. So
Commenting would be useless.
All right. Rob, did
no,
you
I
go
really
on?
hope Jake. I really don't hope any of that happens, and I really hope that Jake's okay, and nobody should stab anybody
Suck his
or
dick.
assault anybody
Suck
for their
his dick.
political beliefs.
Suck his dick.
But it's fuck you.
Listen,
Okay.
Rob, you went already, correct? Or no?
Yeah, I'm good, bro.
Okay. Kim.
Well, I'm not going to repeat my points. I think I've made them pretty clear, but we are reliving 2016 to 2020 right now. Conservatives should listen to Jake Lang. The men who are able to should be showing up to these events, and we need to actually get organized. I don't know how to suggest doing that at this point. We've had lots of years of doing this, and we're still getting into predicaments where we're vastly underprepared and have no protection. So what do we do about that? I don't necessarily know. I'm a woman. It's not necessarily my place. But I would say, as a woman, I'm calling on the men in this sphere to step up, because we need that, and I can't do it for you. So let's go.
But you can make sandwiches when it's time.
I make dope sandwiches. I home make the bread. I put all sorts of good meat and cheese. I make amazing I'll make you the best sandwich of your fucking life. Just get off your ass, please. God, do something.
I never. So here I go. Let's start with sandwiches. I never understand the sandwich thing, because like women make so much better stuff than sandwiches.
Oh yeah, no, sandwiches are mid. I've been saying
That's
like,
like
if
the-
you're
that's
like,
like
oh,
the
make a
base.
sandwich. Like, no, I make a mistake because I'm not a fucking amateur.
Yeah. Sandwiches are like shut the fuck up food, which men don't give a fuck about. Shut the fuck up food. They'll take shut the fuck up food without a problem. So women are much. There's much more to women than sandwiches. There's steak. There's pot roast. There's so much other shit.
Oh.
And as far as like this Jake situation, I think I've said most of the things that I'm going to say. So I'm just going to brief it and then just give my overview. What happened to Jake yesterday shouldn't happen to anybody, right? And I think that what we saw yesterday is the polarization in America, where you hate somebody so much, even if they instigate you, you're stupid enough to bite. But the polarization so much that you'd be willing to kill somebody for it, because I'm sure, given the chance, most of those people would. The police presence there was alarming, because what I saw was this whole thing happened within like 2 hours. The cops did not even show presence. And this is in downtown, right by City Hall. The police station is literally blocks away. The cops did not show up. And if the cops don't show up, it's not federal jurisdiction, so like the feds can't just show up and disperse a riot. But this shows you exactly why the Insurrection Act might be a necessity in this situation. Because it is an uprising, it is an assault against the American citizenry. And it's not just Jake, it's everything that's happened in Minnesota over the course of the past like 3 or 4 weeks, right? We're seeing fraud, we're seeing violence, we're seeing the worst of the worst happen there. And there's no way to control it, because you have a mayor and a governor, right? And city and county officials that refuse to do anything at all. And I think it's the president's place to step up to the plate, like he did in D.C., like he did in.
And it's not
in
Enrique.
many other cities.
It's not about not doing anything at all. They're actually incentivized.
Yes. Eee. And that's our guest host. That's in there. But yeah, no, I agree with you. I think you know, they're not just not doing anything. The police, from what I heard, had a stand down order. Jacob Frey was out there like pretty much promoting this shit, and then you have Care that was actually promoting. You guys should go over there. You guys should protest. And then they said, and I'm going to repost that. And then they said, one of the Care officials said, well, if Jake decides to come to wherever their headquarters is, that the community will fight back. Fight back from what? Jake's just speaking, right? The community won't allow it. Won't allow what? Won't allow Jake to speak? Is that what you're saying? Is that the kind of America that the Muslims and the Care wants? Absolutely not. And you know, like I get some people, not a lot, I get some people that are like, oh, well, don't go after the Muslims. It's really the fucking Jews. Like, listen, I don't give a fuck. I'm not for foreigners, fucking period. So I'm not gonna simp for a bunch of fucking Dune coons, right? Just to placate you. It's never gonna happen. I'm a no foreigners fucking kind of dude. I don't want any foreign influence. I don't want any foreign money, whether it's coming in or out. I don't want it. Right? And these Muslims are a fucking problem. They're a fucking problem. Will I tell you that the Israeli government is a problem? I agree with you. I agree that there's an Israeli problem. But Muslims right now, what we're seeing are direct. They're open face. They're openly telling you what they want to do, you know, and it's across the country. It goes from the West Coast to the Midwest to Texas, Oklahoma, fucking Kansas, Miami, Atlanta. It goes through all those places, and we need to fight back when it comes to foreign influence. And I think that the one of the perfect examples of this is like the know nothings. The know nothings knew all of this before it happened, and they pushed against it. And you know, obviously they got into physical altercations, and they ended up their party ended up disappearing, but their ideals didn't. Their ideals have continued to this day. So, with that being said, I'm happy that Jake's doing great. I'm happy that Jake's doing a lot better, and I'm happy that Jake's taking advantage of this situation because he deserves it. He deserves it. Look, I say this again. I don't agree with his tactics. I don't agree with half of the shit that he says. But Jake, no matter what you think, some J6ers like to shit on Jake. No matter what you think, he's a brother in arms. He was there, and you could say, well, he did horrible things on J6. Yeah, so did a lot of fucking people. But when you feel like your country's being taken from you, the Declaration states what you're supposed to do. And I appreciate Jake a lot, and I do consider him a brother, and I'm not afraid to say that. So if somebody wants to shit over me,
So Enrique, it looks like the protesters are holding people hostage in a church right now in Minneapolis.
I don't know if you want to continue this and just jump on that. I think I am done. I got the guys. The guys are going to be here in a little bit, and I need to focus on that.
Yeah, I gotta go do.
So you could run the stream, Rob, and fucking go for it.
I can't. I can't.
Okay.
If you guys want, we could go live again later.
Yeah. But in closing, the way that you could support us is go to Warboy Studios, mash the post notification button, and where you could support me, you could go to noblelead.substack.com and get a paid subscription, or you could go to 1776.shop and go to the best store on 1776.shop, which is
American Rising.
Official.
The American Rising store is where you'll find the most offensive stuff. So it depends on how spicy you are and, you know, how cool you are. It's where you shop.
I'm reading Mein Kampf.
Yeah. Actually, I found my copy.
I think Barry needs to market those suits. I really do. I really think he needs to figure out a way to market his suit.
Oh, I thought you said the one he has on, but now I remember. Yeah, Barry was very well dressed. I was kind of skeptical in the beginning, and I saw him wearing it, and it was actually really cool.
Now, you know, you just brought up an interesting point, Enrique, and I'd like you to home in and zone in on that.
Oh, here
Is
we go.
this the no? I'm just having an open, authentic conversation with you live here on the air. Is this the first time that I came to you with an idea and you thought it was going to be stupid? In the end, it was really fucking awesome. Is this the first time?
Listen, a broken clock is right twice a fucking day. So
Damn,
I tell
bro.
you that often,
Damn.
and I'm wrong.
I'm not saying you're ever wrong. I'm just saying, is this the first time that I presented an idea that you thought was going to be an idea, a bad idea, and ended up being a good idea?
Yeah. Well, I thank God that you didn't wear the mask.
Yeah. yeah. Yeah.
All right. So with that, I'm completely signing out. Anybody staying?
Nope.
No. All right, guys. Thank you for watching another great episode of the Newsbrief on a Sunday special. We usually don't have the show on Sunday. It is 1:01 p.m. Please enjoy your Sunday. And if you haven't gone to church, you should go to church because we are all sinners, including Jake Lang. Thank you for watching.
I was there today.
Yeah, there you go. Look, perfect. That's why you came late to the show.
It is.
All right, guys. Signing off.
Peace.
Load up on guns and bring your friends. It's fun to lose and to pretend she's overboard and self-assured. Oh no, I know a dirty word. Hello.
Peter said Ethan Nordine was the undisputed leader of the group that day as they tried to prevent the peaceful transfer of power.
And FBI agents arrested Proud Boys former national chairman Enrique Tarrio at this home in Miami. By 2 this afternoon, he was in federal court.
Here we are now, entertain us. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are